song. I love this man's writing, and I first heard him 20 years ago, and I've been hooked on his stuff ever since. When I first met Doug Norquay, he was living in Guelph, which he still is, and he was playing the blues circuit in Toronto. I saw him open for R.L. Burnside, Junior Kimbrough, Downchild Blues Band, John Hammond, and he just always electrified the room. He'd sit there and with his Perrier bottle. He said a Perrier bottle was full of whiskey. I didn't learn that until later. And he would sort of mumble between songs, and he had his self-esteem as a performer. He didn't have the personality for performing. Like, he'd say things like, between songs, he'd say things like, "Oh, here's another piece of shit." And then he'd just like blast into this tune and play this slide guitar, like literally like he was being chased by something. And it was frightening. I said this last night. I like songwriters that scare me. That's what I'm kind of always want. I always want to be frightened. I'm sure you feel the same about music you listen to. I always go to the record store and you're like, give me something scary. I know. I can see into your dark little hearts. But Doug Norquay, he's one of these guys. And but I have a problem with Doug Norquay. I gotta shut myself up, because if I start talking about him, I won't stop. And it's very hard to start quoting his lyrics, Things like, "Highway's cold and quiet as a weak old murder site." Like, that's just one, I don't know. It's just all stuff like that, Oh my goodness. He's got that, I can't even, if I start. When my horse wants to run, I just let go the reins, and an Asian flower bloom in my veins. Just stuff like that, Oh. Anyway, but I'll start quoting his songs, and it gets bad. Leave the rifle on the gun rack, man. I will not breathe a word. That ugly biker ass has got him flying like a bird. Too drunk to put the fire out, so we just let it burn. They found him frozen like a Hendrix poster, and all their heads will turn down Dead Crow Road. They found him frozen like a Hendrix poster. It's Canadian too, That's the beautiful thing. Anyway, one night, I'll tell you this, I'll confess this to you. One night, I had taken a drug that makes me talk more than usual. And it was probably about 8 or 9 in the morning, and sitting at my kitchen table with a fella named Jane Awicki, plays guitar for the Perpetrators from Winnipeg, and I was telling him Doug Norquay lyrics. Like, I just couldn't stop. It was like the Doug Norquay lever was broken off, and I was just telling him Doug Norquay lyrics, and it was like the songs just kept coming to me, and it was amazing how much I could recall. And eventually he was like, I gotta crash, and he went in the living room and he laid down on the pull-out couch, and then a few minutes later he opens his eyes, and I'm like crouched above him, like my face is like next to his face, and I'm like, "One more, Jay, I gotta tell you one more Doug Norquay song I just thought of." And he's like, literally, he looks at me and he said the best thing I've ever heard anyone say to me, and I hope no one here says it to me tonight. He said, "Corin, you're talking to yourself, and you're making me listen." I've been solid, I've been porous, been a steady stream, been shackles, I've been crutches, I've been varying degrees, been a vague become, been a bad translation, man, I've been a funhouse mirror, I've been white noise in a slipstream 1,000 miles from here. It's a cruel, cruel town. Yeah, it's a cruel, cruel town. Every criminal is a victim, every joker wears a crown, every actor wrote the script, and it's a cruel, cruel town. I've been framed like a prophet on echo testimonies wait, been damned by the devil outside Bogus pearly gate, been a big disciple, not an outlaw dog, been Jehovah's Witness, man, I laid down with the law. It's a cruel, cruel town. hellbound train. I've been scattered wreckage, I've been litter on the beach. I've been scenic ruins and anonymous debris. It's a cruel, cruel town. Oh, it's a cruel, cruel town. Every criminal is a victim, every joker wears a crown. Every actor wrote the script and it's a cruel, cruel town.